Now, language is a wonderful thing, and having a second language is brilliant because it opens up so many opportunities in life. But did you know that we, the Irish, are rated 5th worst in Europe for second language ability? That's really bad. But the good news is we're getting better and opening our eyes to the importance of being able to speak a second language.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Now, if you are going to choose a second language to learn, why not choose Spanish? Well, for a start, it's the second most widely spoken language in the world. Around 400 million people speak it in over 20 countries. It's rhythmic, it's beautiful, and for the beginner, it's easy to learn. And probably the most important thing is the career opportunities it gives you here in Ireland and all over the world. But don't just take my word for it.
My job has taken me pretty much all over the world. I've worked mainly though in Latin America, and I've been to practically all of the countries down there, and I've actually spent some time living in Chile. People actually get a shock when they can find like an Irish person speaking in their language, you know, and you tend to build up a much better rapport with them.
I work for a company called Anam Wireless Internet Solutions. We would provide companies with the software to allow them access information from their mobile phones, or their employees at least. And definitely Spain as a market for huge use of mobile technology would be a major target market for ourselves. And then South America is really taking off, and Spain offers us a gateway into South America also.
I was in Madrid to watch Real Madrid and Barcelona playing a game. I was doing a little radio documentary about it. Without Spanish, I couldn't have done the programme. I think they appreciate you a little bit more when you do that, because they figure you're making an effort. Even if your Spanish isn't perfect, that's fine. They don't mind. They'll still, you know, chat to you. And I think from that point of view, it's great.
Also tonight, Derry City are at home to Longford Town.
We're all much more demanding about what we want to do with our lives and what we expect from our futures. So how important is having a second language in terms of career?
Okay, if you're looking at Irish export trade at the moment, you'll need it for basic, we start at secretarial work. You'll need it for marketing. You'll need it for any kind of advertising, for accounts. A lot of it is coming in the IT sector at the moment, particularly with links to South America. It's a huge emerging market for the IT sector at the moment, so there's a lot of intertrade links on that sector. We also have a huge tourist industry here in Ireland, both outgoing and incoming. So you're going to need to communicate with the clients you want to bring in, and then, you know, if you want to send people out, you're going to have to source all of your businesses through Spanish when you go away. So there's a huge range of industry. There really isn't anything that it couldn't be applied to.
With the amount of people involved in business and in Spanish, are numbers increasing in this country?
They certainly are. It's certainly on the increase at the moment. We just completed a survey in September with IBEC, which did a survey on language use in Irish businesses, and it is very much on the increase.
Nicola, what's your favourite part of the Spanish culture?
I actually adore the food and the people's passion. You know, everything that they have, whether it's music, whether it's wine, whether it's food, whether it's cinema, whether it's anything else, it's 100%. They give themselves over 100% to everything they do. I think we can learn a lot from that. And you become all consumed in it. From the minute you step off the plane and the ball of heat hits you in the stomach, and you get the smells and you hear the noise, and it just takes over, you know.
How would I say technology in Spanish?
Tecnología.
It's a very easy language.
Extremely.
Muchas gracias, Nicola.
De nada. Igualmente.
Nos vemos ahí, no en Dublín, no en Irlanda.
En cualquier sitio.
Spain has so much to offer that people have no idea. It's almost like 16 different countries. You have the different autonomías, and you have from the Picos de Europa, the mountains in the north, you have Galicia, which is Celtic, with its bagpipes and everything, down to the Moorish castles in the south. I just can't explain how much there is to offer.
When I was in transition year, a group of 15 of us travelled to Spain, to Madrid, on an exchange. It was a brilliant experience for all of us. We all had a great time, and despite what some people may have said, we actually did learn a great deal of Spanish. And then again, going out at night with our students, with our exchanges, and just meeting kind of Spanish young people, we just had the time of our lives.
Spanish is a language which sounds the way it's written, so once you've learnt that kind of system, it's fairly easy to speak it fairly successfully. It's a terrific language, it's a real live living culture. It's everywhere around us at the moment. Pop music, sport, wherever we go, Spanish is very much the language to learn at the moment.
Today, the most powerful Spanish global influence is the language, but Spanish culture and Latin American culture is so rich and diverse, and nowhere more so than in the music. Look, Jennifer Lopez, Ricky Martin, Christina Aguilera, Buena Vista Social Club from Cuba, Enrique Iglesias, Julio's son. And then if you want to chill out on the couch, check out some classical music with Plácido Domingo. Loads of sport, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Raúl, Luis Enrique, Arantxa Sánchez Vicario, Carlos Moya y Sergio Garcia. And if you want art, they're masters. Velázquez, Frida Kahlo, Picasso, Goya, Dali. And the literature is just as impressive. Lorca, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Isabel Allende. And Spanish film has never been so popular. No hay problema. Just look at Hollywood. Antonio Banderas, Andy Garcia, Penelope Cruz, Pedro Almodovar. Throw in bullfighting, Ibiza, paella. There's so much there on offer. And tapas. Tortilla española, Spanish omelette, and this is tapas. Classical Spanish food, tasty Spanish food. And Paddy Woodworth, journalist with the Irish Times and author. It's hard to look at this without eating it, isn't it?
Isn't it? These are patatas bravas and they look very good as well.
So Paddy, in your day-to-day routine as a journalist, where do you use Spanish every day, or where do you?
I would use it every day in terms of I would read the Spanish newspapers, I would read internet sites in Spanish every day. I would usually talk to somebody in Spanish every day. I mean, that would be part of my job. And as I say, I think it is useful in so many areas. It's given me a second career. It's given me an advantage, an edge, if you like, when I go to the US in terms of being able to communicate with people in their own first language. And you can often see if you're having a difficult situation with someone in the States and you speak to them in Spanish, their eyes light up and you're showing respect for their culture. And this is something that's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, whether you're working in construction or whether you're working as a doctor. In most parts of the United States, and particularly the most populated parts of the United States where you're most likely to go, you're going to need Spanish. So in the most powerful and richest country in the world, and the country that most Irish people work in, Spanish is undoubtedly an enormous help. And it's not just the US. There's another great area of the world in which Spanish culture and the Portuguese culture has been enormously important that is only now opening up, but I think in 20 years' time will be one of the hubs of the world, which is Latin America. Having the language is an enormous advantage, and I envy anybody who can learn it at school and have it before they go there and not have to spend a year making a fool of themselves first.
This is the Spanish Arch here in Galway, and this is the place, as story has it, that the first connections happened between Ireland and Spain. It was 400 years ago, and those connections are growing ever since. Now, I'm sure you realise that I love speaking Spanish, but here's a couple of friends of mine who are learning the language. Let's see what they think.
It's easy enough to say, and
the accent's really cool.
It's quite an easy language because the words are kind of like English words, and it's quite.
You pronounce them the way you see them.
So when you go abroad, you can easily speak Spanish to people, and they're if you ask for something in the shop, they'll know what you're talking about.
It's easy and it's more colourful.
I just really like it. And what's your favourite part of learning of Spain or Spanish culture?
Barcelona, Real Madrid, the Spanish dancing,
paella.
Christina Aguilera and Enrique Iglesias.
Having a second language, what sort of jobs it'll get you in when you finish school?
If you want to be an air hostess,
you could do international business and you could be trading with Spanish companies.
Yeah.
As a diplomat in the EU.
Yeah, or you want to teach English in Spain.
Go over to Spain and watch Real Madrid and be a sports journalist.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Sitting up there in the Bernabeu. Gracias. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. Adiós.
Gracias.
Hasta luego. De nada. De nada.
Now, if there's one thing you've got to try in Spanish and Latin American culture, that's la salsa. Vamos, venga, guapa.
What happens here is that people tend to think of learning languages as some kind of academic pursuit rather than language as a life skill, and that's what we need to get away from.
like the way it sounds, and I like speaking Spanish, and it's a huge advantage to have it.
How could this fail to inspire you?
Be able to say that you speak Spanish suddenly puts you on another level in terms of what an employer might be looking for, and I would say it's crucially important nowadays, yeah.
Ya está, that's it, all finished. But just before I go, if you want to learn Spanish and speak it like me, or like our own President Mary McAleese does, well then it's all there for you. You can do Spanish in third level, Spanish in computers, Spanish in marketing, Spanish in business, Spanish in tourism. It's all there, but you don't have to wait for third level. You can start now. You can do Spanish for the Junior Cert, Spanish for the Leaving Cert, Applied Leaving Cert, Spanish for Vocational. It's all there. Start it now and enjoy. Hasta luego. Hasta la próxima. Adios.
Watch out,